Alright. We're here with Anzrag, the giant 4-mana 8/4 mole god. When it becomes blocked, untap each creature you control and you get an extra combat phase. And then for 7 mana, you can force this to be blocked. So you can get the first trigger if they didn't block it normally. That's a lot of mana to get the bottom part going, but there are other ways to kind of circumvent that, like enlarge forces them to block, and then you swing twice, stuff like that. So I'm trying to give this double strike and trample. Those are the two big things that you really want to give this, so that's what we're doing here. I don't really think this is all that great. It might be too all in, and a lot of Voltron style go tall strategies usually don't use pump spells. They use like auras and enchantments and equipment, so it at least sticks around. Like if you cast, say, Barge in, right, or one of the million things I threw in here, pump spells only happen once, and then you're kind of just sitting there naked. But anyways, we have some equipment that do give double strike, and then we have things that give haste, can't be countered, stuff like that is pretty useful. I think I did throw in some protection spells, yep, like this, Ranger's Guile, just to keep this alive. So maybe it is a secret 5-mana commander, because unlike Pock, you really just don't want this to die. Pock, you don't really care. This one's is not necessarily the same. A lot of ramp on 1 and 2, because I really feel like I need to get this out as fast as possible. Brass Knuckles seems interesting. It doesn't cost like 10 mana. Like the first time I thought it did when I first read it, it only cost 4. It doesn't, cost, you don't have to pay more for the second one. And then it's only 2 to put both on. I think that's kind of fine to just give something double strike. But I mean, that's it. The deck is just a lot of the same thing over and over, right? Just pump spells, ramp protection spells, and hopefully your opponent messes up in combat and blocks when they shouldn't have, or maybe they just don't and you die. They die because they took too much damage because they didn't block. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place to me. There might be an argument to putting Xenagos in here, now that I'm thinking about it. It probably is better than one of these spells, or maybe just something else, like maybe it's just better than Embercleave. Xenagos probably does want to come in here. I'll probably end up throwing that in. Yeah, no, that's it. Oh, right, Ragavan. It has to scam Ragavan because this card is stupid. Always put this card in your deck if you're red, because that's just where we are in this format now. But yep, like, comment, subscribe. Let's see how it goes. One or more counters, army, goblin, orc. Okay. That's kind of neat, I guess. Oh, this is like a lot of ramp. I mean, fine. I don't have anything else going on. Leyline of the Void, exiles, right? Yeah, that doesn't do anything against me. Xenagos is actually pretty good. I like that. I'm kind of nervous about playing this, so I guess I'll play this. I don't want the Scrap Order to die. So do I play my commander, or do I play... I think I just will. I think I'll just play it. I'll force a removal spell. Okay. Neat. They could have swung with this thing. So I can give it double strike right now, and that's probably just better than anything. I would have loved to have played Xenagos, but probably giving it double... No, I think I'm going to just take a turn to play stuff like this. Okay, well, we'll see how they block. Sure, I didn't expect that. So we get our trigger, and I guess I'll just give it double strike. Well, that's unfortunate. Aha! It didn't work! Yes! It didn't work! Oh, that's... Oh, the trickery just didn't work. That is funny. Oh, I love it. Wow. That's awesome. It just didn't work. Tybalt's trickery failed. Oh, yeah. That's funny. That was the first game I played. Alright, Jeff. I've played against Jeff before. Assuming there's only one Jeff looming around. Probably isn't, but... Alright, we're on the play with... We went from on the draw with the worst thing to on the play with the best thing. I believe there's only been one game I've lost with a turn 1 Ragavan. And, as uninteresting as it may be, I shall do it. Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push. That's probably it. They don't have it. Should have played my land first. Yep. Alright, so Ragavan did his thing. I don't really have to... Not too upset if he dies. Robber of the Rich. That will probably end up blocking. I will... What if I bite down? Maybe that's just fine. Okay, I'm not going to cast that. I missed my land drop, which is problematic. Nothing gives haste, so I'll just swing first. Suppose I'll play a land. Don't know what Ragavan will hit. Arcane Signet. Can I play that and Xenagos? I can. Ragavan is so stupid! It's so stupid! It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Was this Coleon's command? No! Wow, they just want to take 16 here, huh? That's gonna be rough. Is it more? Let's see, I have 2, 3, 4. Take a creature. No, I can't do... I can only do 2 more. That's not worth it. Yeah, unless it kills my opponent, I'm not gonna just send more damage for no reason. We don't really need to become immense. My opponent's at 3. All of my threats, if I ever draw any, like a Mana Dork, are now instantly lethal. If I get too much devotion as well, Xenagos becomes an issue as well. Yep. Opponent needs to deal with both of these threats, which is probably not very likely, but it could happen. Counterspell, removal, and all that jazz. Yeah, this is just too difficult. Yep, Ragavan just raced so far ahead, and I killed the thing that could block it, which wound up being very important. There's not too many creatures this deck's probably running, so if I kill Robber of the Rich, then Ragavan has to die by a spell, right, instead, and that seemed to be the case. And then just hitting my opponent over and over is obviously just going to pull me more and more ahead, so... Good old Ragavan. They draw a card, I guess. Legolas. Never played against Legolas before. That's interesting. Okay. Legolas. Do we want to land? Not really. Targets this. Whenever you cast a spell that targets this, put a counter on it. Or you cast a spell that doesn't target this, your thing fights infinitely. Okay. Domri Rad. That's pretty decent. Sort of. Okay. So land this and then Domri. Oh no, the Scrap Gorger ate a card for my Become Immense. Oh, shoot. That's not great, is it? That is not ideal. Do we want to run this? I mean, it costs 3 mana, so not really. Okay, that's fine. Could have been worse, I guess. Yep, play my commander, and then I can use my commander to kill one of their things. with the old Domri. Target this and kill that. And then this doesn't give haste or anything, just pass. I mean, it is mono green, so maybe I'm slightly advantaged. It seems to have like a lot of ramp with not much of the big stuff going on here. Hardened scales. Well, that's a pretty good one. Okay. I can cash in this to kill their commander. I can also just see what happens when I do this to start. See what they do. I can cast Become Immense. I don't think I have to right now. They'll probably just take 10, yeah. Then I kill their commander. Just gonna cash it in. I think this is pretty good for me. And Scrap Gorger can be a 3/3 at any point as well. This does not give trample, right? No. Alright, so Scrap Gorger's a 3/3, if that matters. Opponent's at 8. This gives trample. Okay, so let's go to swingies. I guess I swing all out. Let's say they don't block the 8. Nah, I can't be convinced. Alright, 8 plus 6 is 14. They're dead. Should have blocked. Should have blocked. Should have blocked. Oh, yes. Get Schmieded. Yeah, they didn't block. I mean, it would have saved them just even so slightly, right? I mean, not with the goose, though, because this is another... Oh, this doesn't pump it at all. Yeah, blocking with the goose would have saved them then. And they probably should have, because, again, I don't really know if they really needed this goose at this point. I mean, they already have a Nykthos for what would now be 6. Like, yeah, they really don't need this goose. They're probably just... Oh, right, you can't. You cannot block, because then I get to swing again. Right, you literally can't... Okay, I'm just dumb. Alright, yeah, that's the whole point of this commander. Okay, well, interestingly enough, Croxa isn't that bad. Okay. Probably discard this. Bite down. Definitely the weakest card in my hand. Alright, well, there goes Blood Mist, probably. I feel like I would have just straight up cast my commander there and not that, because my next turn, you can't discard my next turn anyways. I think I would have just cast Croxa there. I've never seen this Croxa before, that's cool. Or the art, rather. That was neat. Oh, man. Every time I play against Croxa, they have this. Every time. I don't know what it is about this damn card. It's always there for this deck. Alright, so I don't imagine they block. That doesn't make any sense. They'll just take 8 damage anyways. So let us... Oh, you know what? I should have behaved... Yeah, I should have done something different here. Hold on. I could have forced them to block. Yeah, that was a mistake. I could have absolutely forced them to block. And I don't even know if... Was that lethal? Let's see. They block. I give it trample. They take 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus... No, it wasn't lethal. It would have been good, but it was not lethal. No, maybe they'll give me a second opportunity to do that. Look, this is the second time I didn't understand how my commander worked. I don't know how to read, I guess. I don't know. Like, I have good plays, and I just didn't. My opponent let me do them in the face of knowing about them as well, and I just chose not to. There's nothing I can do to do that against that. Languish makes not really many senses to me, but sure. Alright, so now they're aware they have a blocker. Maybe, given what I did last time, they won't go crazy here. Alright. They did not scry. Wait, what? I don't know if I agree with what they just did in any way, but shouldn't they have? Weren't they like forced to make a? I think my opponent just blundered this here. Yeah, they definitely blundered this. Okay, but to be fair, I did blunder it last turn, so... Yeah, okay. They just didn't have a way to deal with it a second time. Languish is really weird in Croxa. I don't know what's going on about that one, but... Teamer Better Urge. Double Strike and Trampsies. Okay. What is this? This is the thing with stuff? Okay. Do they have Dark Ritual? What was that? I don't know. Pact of Negation? It must be Pact of Negation, which fortunately I have no respect for. My opponent has Pact of Negation in hand. What is it, 5 or 4 on the Pact? I think it's 5, right? It's the Force of Will mana? I think Pact of Negation's 5. I'm going to go ahead and play as though it's 5. I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Alright, Pact cannot do anything this turn. I can push. Not really that much. I guess I'll just cycle the trample. If I do, I'm not pushing any other damage. I need to, like, draw relevant things, though, so... This is my only red mana. Okay, found more red mana. Gives me more options this turn if I want them. So I can play... This pushes 8, which is not very exciting. I don't think I'm pushing more than this. I think I'm just going to sit and rest. Just going to go ahead and do that. And hope my opponent's next turn is just pacting. Like, they do whatever this turn, next turn they pact, and then I get to play Magic after. I don't know what that could be. It could be a black... There's a black removal spell, but it's usually the blue ones. And they don't have any blue mana. Oh, well, they do now. They chose to scry? I don't know if they could make the other choice. I wasn't paying attention. Sure. Yeah. Alright, Domri doesn't change anything. They do have Pact mana, but if they cast Pact, they're kind of screwed, and they have to cast Pact to stay alive. So I'll do it pre-combat. They have to cast Pact or they're dead. Alright, nice. Yeah, they probably realized if they cast Pact, they're literally dead anyways, because their entire next turn is tapped out. Unless they draw specifically Fetch Land Fatal Push. Speaking about one-dimensional, it's just another one-dimensional strategy. It's like Pock, but Pock at home. So 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then... Who knows what? Blood Mist was a good pickup. Probably get red with this. Wow, my opponent abraded a... Wow, okay. You have a second removal spell? You must, right? No? Okay. Cast Blood Mist. My opponent has something, so... Probably makes sense to not cast my commander. There's a lot of white removal in this deck. Like, a lot. So... Yep, got nothing. If only it gave haste. If only it gave haste. Oh yeah, they definitely have a removal spell here. Alright, let's go to combat, see what happens. Oh wow, they don't have a removal spell? What's going on? I'm confused. Heroic Intervention, sure. That kills my commander unless I cast something. There's no reason to swing again. I can't give trample. Oh, I can. I can give trample. But it's only 16, right? Yeah, maybe I just wait a turn then. We can just wait. I think that's fine. I do have another protection spell. I can take my time here. Cycle land, sure. Okay. Really? You don't have anything, huh? Okay, let's see what happens when I start here. Nothing. Wow. I guess my opponent just doesn't have anything. Ember Cleave, that's pretty good. And must be blocked? Sure. They're going to do that anyways. There's not nearly enough... Yeah, there's not nearly enough in play to stop this. But I think they can live? Hold on, so it's... No, it's got double strike, so it basically deals damage 4 times. But if it didn't have double strike, it would have been 22 and they would have been fine. But yeah, this is 44 damage, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, it's not nearly enough. This is a bit rough, but it can work maybe. Yarok is slow, but Yarok is something I can't block, or rather swing into too effectively. Does demand I have certain things that I currently do not, right? I do not. Alright, I found it. I found double strike. I found a way to swing. What does this do? Invasion for 2. That's the tutor, right? Non-human 2 or less? Sure. That's interesting. I would have just gotten the normal Menadork, but okay. That's also interesting. I don't know what that's about. Very interesting. I don't know what's going on here. All right. I guess I play you. Yeah, I think it's better to just play other things right now. So I will. Alright. This means if my commander dies, I can, like, kind of cast it again a little bit faster. Tireless Tracker is a bit slow. Opponent has put no creatures, nothing in their graveyard yet. It's kind of funny. Alright, do I want to cast anything right now? Not really. I also really don't want to waste my Goose mana on something that doesn't end up working, so I think I'm just going to pass. I really do not want to put the blades there and then have my commander die. Feels extremely bad. Also, I would be tapped out, so my opponent might not respect as much as they normally would. Okay. Alright, let's cast something I wouldn't miss too much, which I guess is this, because it has flashback. Alright. And then I just swing. Yep. I don't like how my opponent didn't do anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and find out what happens when I do this. Alright, I'm not going to make a move. Exile target creature, then return it to the battlefield with a counter on it. Sure, so I say no to the command zone thing, right? Oh, I didn't even give me the choice. Okay. Attach this now. See, this is why we wait. This is why we wait. This is why you wait. Gaia's Blessing. You know what? If you redraw... Oh, wait, no, they just cycled it. Alright, never mind. Do they mill themselves? What is going on with this strategy right now? This is very strange to me. I don't hate it, though. Gaia's Cradle is... not Cradle, excuse me. Gaia's Blessing. Very strange. Alright, my opponent's tapped out, so this is just bad for them. This is bad news bears. It's already got double strike. I can force them to block it. I think this is literally just lethal as is, so... yeah, that's just too much. Yeah, my opponent never cast Yarok, but once you saw the double strike and couldn't answer it, I think their priority was just finding answers for this, right? They kind of stopped doing everything else, and they didn't find one, so we're good. This is another creature-heavy deck, right? There's like Ravenous Chupacabra and stuff, but again, they just didn't find any. Okay. Need red mana. So many turn 1 fetch lands. So many. Okay, well, we're already way behind, but I guess we'll try to catch back up here. Alright, well, now we're just incredibly behind. See, this is what I'm talking about. I need to play my commander like turn 3 every single game ever. So I got nothing to do. Let's play that in pass. Oh boy, how exciting. Can't wait. Alright, well, at least I get to cast my commander. That's a plus, right? Let's get a mountain. Cast El Commanderino. Assume our opponent has Stone Cold nothing. Well, they didn't get a blue, so no time warp nonsense. Okay. Really? Swinging with their stuff. Wow. Oh, I guess that makes sense, because if they don't, I get to hit them. Does this always put a counter on it? It does, so it doesn't matter. Alright. So, 21 life, I can push... I have Thud. So, this is double strike. 16 plus 8 is lethal? I don't have a second red. Oh, that's so annoying. I don't have red. I can't kill my opponent. Wait a minute. I can dash Ragavan and get a treasure. Hold on. Hold on a second here. Oh, put him to 1. And then Thud. Yes. Oh, I don't even have to kill my commander. I can just kill Ragavan. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, Thud, dude. Thud is so stupid. Yeah, the mana colors are getting me nervous, but look at that Ragavan coming in clutch when the red off of this, legendary only. This is how I win, with them having nothing early. Alright, well, they found something. Need to play my commander as soon as possible and dodge dumbness. Let's get, I have 2 basics. Can I get 2 or more basics? Yeah, I can get that. Sure. Might matter. Might not. Alright, no removal. That's the next thing we need. We need no removal. And removal. Of course. Why not? You... You... And there's no reason to crack the clue right now, I don't think. So I won't. But basically, all but lost here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Can't wait to play against Voja again. How do you not play your commander? Yeah, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. There you go. You literally do nothing but cast Voja. It's all you can do. So your deck does nothing at all unless it plays Voja. Okay, so they cannot swing, which is a huge plus, but they'll probably play 14 elves before they go to combat. Or whatever it is they do. Not totally out of this one. I do get the opportunity to swing for what I assume is moderate amount of damage. They gave this haste. That's weird. They didn't have to. This is hexproof. It's not indestructible, right? So 7. It's 7. I don't know if trading makes any kind of sense, so I just won't. Ram through. That is pretty good. The ward is 3. Alright, I am forced to do this, so you to you. Pay 3. And then I guess I do that again? Here to here. I like all this. It lets me leave up the defense as well. And I just push 8. So, I like doing that. It's not bad. This sets them back to the Stone Ages, right? I would love to see them just recast their commander. Can they? 1, 2, 3. They can. Again, their deck kind of doesn't do anything unless their commander's in play. They can even give it haste. They do have the rhythm sitting there. So it's actually just kind of fine to cast it. They do not. Wow, they choose this instead, huh? That's very interesting. Sure. I would have just snapped off my commander. I feel like that's the only thing you can do, so. I think we're in a really good spot, but who knows? Who really knows? Okay, Thud probably just kills them, actually. Hold on. So, double strike. And then swing. Yep, we just got there. We actually killed Voja. There's just nothing they can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. This should just kill everything. Nice. Yep. I just completely annihilated Voja. That's hilarious. Double fight effect into killing their entire board with a mass block. This is the real, like, this example right here is what makes this unique relative to other kind of, like, go tall strategies. Your opponent puts their whole board in front of your commander, and it's, like, an absolute nightmare to do this. But if they don't, they die to Thud. But if I didn't have Thud, they would have actually taken less damage had they just straight up not blocked, right? And some people might not realize that or whatever, but they were also in a position where they might not think they can just, like, let themselves take 10 or 20. I don't know. It's just so, it's such a weird commander. Like, you're dead if you do block, you're dead if you don't, but it doesn't have unblockable. It's just weird. Okay, so this is way better than I thought it would be, but it's still a little vulnerable to just dying. That does mean ramp is more important if you plan on not conceding when it dies. You want to at least cast it a second time, or just leave up a protection spell and cast it when you have 5 mana. That was a vulnerable point, but other than that, it was really, really, really good. Like, any creature style strategy doesn't really like to block this. You have a ton of combat tricks, right? A bunch of draft commons. And your opponent blocks it, and suddenly they're taking more than they would have had they not blocked it. So it almost has like pseudo unblockable, right? They block it, you kill the chump blocker, and then you just get to swing again anyways. So it incentivizes people to put in enough blockers to actually kill it with the first combat. But then your combat tricks come into play, you annihilate their whole board with a combat trick, and then you get to swing in anyways, right, with a second attack, even if it doesn't have trample. So that is really interesting. It's very different from a lot. Actually, this is just incredibly unique relative to any kind of go tall, Voltron, stack everything on one card strategy. And it's really cool. I liked it a lot. Yeah, that dynamic is interesting. Like how I beat a Voja player just swinging and then they can't block or they're screwed. But if they do block, they're screwed. So it's like if they block anyways, you know, like what do? You're just doomed. It's kind of funny. Xenagos was excellent. Any kind of thing like this is excellent. The other pseudo Xenagos in the form of Blood Mist is also very good. The toughness on this is awesome, but like if it has double strike, it doesn't really matter. Nothing is gonna really kill this with 16 double strike. Or 8 double strike, excuse me. Become Immense was probably the weakest in here. It is a lot of damage, but you do need a lot of spells have already like to be in your graveyard to get to this. But you don't necessarily... You can still cast this for 6 mana, especially with all the ramp, right? You already have 5 mana by the time you attack with this, usually. Then it's just a single card in your graveyard, you can already cast this. It's like not bad, but I think this is one of the weaker cards in here. Same with Embercleave, costs 5 usually. Actually, almost exclusively costs 5 to cast in combat. So definitely on the weaker side of these two cards, but that didn't really get in the way of much, in my opinion. It didn't really feel too bad. I think I actually did kill someone with a Become Immense. I never cast Embercleave, though. Enlarge is annoying. Probably worse than the two cards I was just talking about. The must be blocked clause is not on a lot of cards. So if you really like that effect, you're just kind of forced to play this. But it's not that bad, right? It just requires you to not let your commander die, right? You played this, and then you play this next turn. You might be tapped out when you do so. And you might be able to kill something. You better hope whatever blocks doesn't have Death Touch, right? Oh, that's another thing about this. If your opponent has Death Touch in play, or any kind of indestructible creature, like I think we bumped into Colossus a couple times, you're just kind of screwed. You know, like, yeah, you need Trample to get over that, and you also need both of its blocks if it's indestructible. Let's say it's Colossus. You're not really going to be able to swing with the second combat, even if this has Trample, because it's going to be 8 damage into its toughness, right? So you might be able to pump it enough to survive the first time they block, but the second time, it's probably going to die. And unless you pushed enough damage past, it doesn't really matter, right? Thud was awesome, and so was Fling. There might be more of this kind of effect in the game. I didn't look that hard, but if there are more Fling effects, I think you want all of them. There might actually be one more of this. This was just an excellent thing to do. Once you've hit your opponent for 8 or even 16, you just send this with any kind of pump spell, and that gets around Death Touch and indestructible creatures. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think this whole strategy is pretty neat. I didn't bump into too many things that had counter spells in them, and counter spells aren't even that amazing as is. I think counter magic is getting harder to pull off, right? You have Allosaurus Shepherd, you have the 2-mana creature, you have Rhythm of the Wild, you have Domri, Cavernous Souls is in every single deck ever. Counterspells are getting a little more and more difficult to get through, especially in any kind of green deck, right? So you might not need to run that. That's just up to you and what you want to be good or bad against. I don't even know if counterspells are something you're even concerned with anyways. You can just kind of recast Anzrag and be like, okay, like it doesn't matter that much. I don't know, maybe Malcolm could be an issue. I didn't get to play against Malcolm. But even still, right, like Malcolm's too busy trying to stay alive with all your fight effects and forced blocked effects that maybe you just don't even care about counterspells. Yeah, that's it. I like this strategy. I recommend it. I think it's unique. It doesn't require a lot of mythics and rares because you're playing a bunch of draft filler combat tricks. Although, I mean, it does have Ragavan. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I liked it. Let me know what you thought about Anzrag. If you have a list or ideas of how to make this more betterer or more worserer, send them in the comments. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.